Number 18, we're told to translate and solve, and we've been given 8 times the difference of some number and 5 is 32, and then told to find the number. So all we're doing is we're taking this word phrase here, the top line, converting it, translating it into an equation, and then solving for the unknown number. And so in this case, for our unknown, I'm going to use the variable x to represent that unknown. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to read it one more time just to see what we have. And they tell us 8 times the difference of some number and 5 is 32. All right. This 8 times, well, 8 times what? Well, the difference of some number and 5. So how do we write the difference of some number and 5? We know that the word difference means subtraction, and most of the time, the order that the elements are presented to you in the word problem or the word phrase is the order that we are going to write them in our equation or expression. So we have the difference, so we know we're subtracting, of some number, so this is our unknown, and we're going to use x to represent that unknown. So the difference of some number and 5. And what we want to do is we want to take this quantity, whatever the difference of this unknown number and 5 is, we want to multiply it by 8 because it says 8 times this thing. All right, so 8 times quantity x minus 5 is, and whenever you see the word is, think equals 32. So when we translate this sentence here from words to symbols, we end up with 8 times quantity x minus 5 equals 32, and we're told now to solve or find the number. All right, so we can start by distributing the 8 through the binomial here. So 8 times x, well, that gives us 8x. 8 times minus 5 gives us minus 40 equals 32. Nothing to do on the right-hand side here. We want to get x all by itself and positive on one side of the equal sign, everything else on the other. So we can go ahead and add 40 to both sides. We end up then with 8x, because these 40s go away, equals, well, 32 plus 40 is 72. And last step, we want to divide both sides by 8, and that gives us x equals positive 9. Now, let's go ahead and, because we were translating from words to mathematical symbols, let's go ahead and take a minute and just check our answer. Again, this is an equation. We have a solution, so let's verify that this solution is correct by plugging it in. All right. To do that, we'll say 8 times x minus 5, but we now know what x is. We're claiming that x is 9, so let's plug in 9 minus 5 equals 32. Well, we can simplify what's inside this set of parentheses. 9 minus 5 is 4, so we'll say 8 times 4 equals 32. And we know 8 times 4 is, in fact, 32, so 32 equals 32. We get a true statement. The number 32 is equal to the number 32. And so because we get a true statement, we know our solution is correct. Now, because we came up with this equation, if our solution was a false answer, if here we got a false answer, one of two things could be happening. Either our solution is wrong because maybe we did some sort of mathematical mistake here, we missed a sign or forgot to add or subtract something, or the translation when we went from words to mathematical symbols here was wrong. So I would quickly check your math real quick if you end up with a false statement here. Check your math, make sure you didn't make any little sign errors. If you're pretty confident about that you did the math right here, then your problem might lie in the way that you translated the sentence. So go back and double check. But in this case, number 18, we end up with x equals 9.